All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. We are finishing off the AI sector review looking at BBAI and BOTZ, the ETF. I don't have too many tickers in this, so if there are any other AI stocks you want me to cover, please throw it in the comments, okay? This is definitely a hot sector, and it's important to look where money's flowing, you know what I mean? So before we get into the details, what are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how things are setting up. We have our 5 moving averages. This is the first time I'm doing these, so I will draw some horizontal support and resistance lines. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like and subscribe, it does really well with the YouTube algorithms. Nonetheless, I sincerely appreciate you just being here, okay? And then if you disagree with anything, please let me know in the comments, okay? I'm super open to just different opinions, and I would much rather you tell me I'm wrong and correct me than watch my money get lost in the market. You know what I mean? So let's make this a two-way street if we can here. So let's get into the details, okay? Obviously, a monster run, okay? By no means would I say I would have even got in right here, right? Really, I think this right here would have, and maybe even this right here, would have probably been like the safest entry, okay? Because clearly, monsters gap up with a fail of the 200. We end up coming back down to the 8, and really, these two are what I would kind of call the first real break and confirmations of the 8. You know what I mean? Obviously, this whole time we're well over it, right? But it's more reality as it kind of comes closer to the line, right? And then from there, look, it does a good break of the 200. Obviously, none of these days are confirmation, but once it was able to get over this, boom, we get a real nice candle right there, right? Tries to go a little high, but look at this thing, right? How high was this RSI right here? 85, right? I always say when you're in the 80s, you're obviously going to need, even on this day, I didn't even realize it, right? But that RSI was 94, right? If 80 is where I say you need a cool off, 85 and 94 are clearly going to be hard outliers, right? And then a lot of the story happens right here in the volume, right? Clearly after the gap up where we see well over 115 million drops all the way down to about 16 million. This lost roughly 80% of volume day over day, right? That's horrible. Volume is king, right? You got to hold it. From there, just a lot of, it's weird volume. I really don't have too much more to say, but I think the MACD has a lot of the indicator going on here, right? This thing pretty much goes up with it as this goes, and every now and then we get a couple little peaks from the RSI to just help it go a little more, I would call it. But yeah, the RSI peaks really go with the volume, and then it looks like this MACD really goes with how this chart is looking. Where are we immediately? Not really good, actually. So I'm going to start down here. I know I say 80% of the work is up here, but just super easy to see, right? That's an ugly MACD, that's an ugly RSI, and these two look the same. That's not good, right? It kind of double emphasizes that right there. Clearly a number of days over the 8, and this 20 has really done its best job to keep it from falling, right? All of these days really could have gone under, especially because none of them got over the 8, right? So this doji right here, pretty much sitting right on the line, has me worried, and it seems like we might be coming down here to 275, okay? I'll tell you, I would be real happy to get into this thing if we can get over that line, and I'm going to go ahead and set my alert for 518. Just get me a little bit over that line, and yeah, I'm for sure interested to see how it goes. But immediately speaking, just kind of reading these, it seems like it's going to be coming down before it makes a bounce on this 20 and goes on up. So yeah, and again, if it comes this low, maybe this line might end up being a good re-entry point, So, and hey, this line might actually end up being a good support line that complements the 20 and maybe does a bounce. But yeah, I'm kind of seeing it come down to 3, and then there's a couple other places you can, maybe it's 350 could be a potential entry point if it comes to 3. But again, we'll probably do this video next week and discuss that if it happens. But yeah, it seems like this is about to go from 4 to 3, right? That's a 25% drop if it actually does happen. So definitely a be careful here, especially given all these lower indicators, right? Red over green, both looking like the green wants to go away, and definitely some pretty bad volume right there, right? What does the weekly look like? Okay, this is a real interesting weekly, right? Clearly a break of the 50, but definitely not good confirmation. Are we under the line? So we're over it. We closed at 91 and the 50 is at 84. So we are actually a couple cents over it. I don't like that RSI right there, but the MACD actually doesn't look that bad. The 8 looks like it's still going up, but the 20 kind of stopped its harder ascent. But I guess still I would say up versus down, right? So I'm at least, look, it's really bad when all the lines are going down, right? So I'm at least happy that it's kind of saying up. But yeah, again, I would want to get over this line, and really that would take us to roughly this guy if I had to put a line on it, which obviously I do. That's why you're watching these videos, right? So yeah, I'd be real happy breaking this and hopefully riding up there if it happens, right? Let me draw a couple lines here. I'll take the bottom of that guy and the bottom of that guy just to have it. Let me see what that looks like on the daily. Okay, yeah, you know what? We'll keep it. Obviously, that stack right there, I didn't draw it because those were right there, right? But again, whatever. Yeah, it really seems like 3. I would not expect this going much lower than 3, though. Hopefully unless these two kind of end up meeting around here, like I could see a 250 actually. It really depends on how the 200 and the 50 play out, right? I almost would much rather a quick drop down versus waiting a couple days and seeing if this thing keeps going down, right? Let's just hit it now and hopefully bounce would almost be the best case, but definitely not bullish here at all. There were definitely other AI stocks that did look good. Okay, BOTZ. This is the Robotics and AI ETF. Okay, look, just like a lot of the stocks we saw in this video, a beautiful, beautiful run. But look, this is an ETF and it's not going to bring you those like exponential gains, right? This thing goes from 20 to 24, a really nice 20% move, right? Every $2 is 10%. And if you watch my videos, I very much cheer 10% moves. Like, I know everyone wants to hit these 50% gainers, 200% gainers, 1000% gain. I've seen them on the apps, right? The top like silly things, but I'm telling you, slow and steady 10% is a beautiful, beautiful thing, okay? Look, I hope you see it without me having to say it, right? Clearly a number of days under the 8. It looks like, and it does actually break it for 2 days, but are you going to call these good breaks? No, you know that, right? Do we even get over 50% candle? Yeah, barely. Okay. But again, not good breaks, not a good bounce, and clearly we're now under it, and more than likely heading down here, right? Maybe this little horizontal stack can save it somewhere, but yeah, if 23 doesn't hold, it's definitely going to come into this 2250 range, give or take, by the time it hits the 50, right? I very much would not expect it to go any lower than the 50. I don't even think it should retest these, right? But yeah, look, for an ETF to get an RSI of 85, I mean, I'm telling you that really 86 even on that day, right? It doesn't happen much, you know what I mean? So this 20% move is really the equivalent of like the NASDAQ going up, right? You know what I mean? So if an ETF is going to move 20%, yeah, you should hopefully crush that, right? So, but again, reason to believe that since this is coming down, maybe some of those other AI stocks we looked at might not continue up, but I really would expect if it hits this 50 to get a nice recovery for sure. You know what I mean? So, and look, this day actually did not lose the 20, did it? Yeah, it didn't. This one closed at 95 and the 20 was at 93. So this is actually the first day under it. I still need tomorrow's confirmation, right? So let's see how Tuesday opens. But yeah, again, more than likely 23 or maybe 2260-ish by the time the red line gets here and the candle gets here, give or take. So, hey, I really hope you're learning. Have a great one. Appreciate your time.